Okay.
Take 3. Hey, I'm Rachel from the Lark's Head shop, and today I'm going to take you along as I show you the 4 main knots to learn for macrame. So with these 4 knots, you should be able to make anything from plant hangers to wall hangings to macrame accessories and anything in between. So the 4 main knots that I'm going to share with you are the Lark's Head knot, which is where I get my shop name, the square knot, the clove hitch knot, and the gathering knot. So if you're ready, let's get started and I'll show you the ropes. Okay, so the first knot we're going to learn is the Lark's Head knot. You will use this knot to attach a piece of cord to a dowel, a piece of driftwood, or another string. So to create the Lark's Head knot, you're going to take your string and fold it in half at the center, just like this. So you're going to take the halfway point and toss it over the top of the dowel or whatever you're trying to attach it to and create a loop like this. Now you're going to expand this loop and feed those 2 other ends through that loop. Now just pull it tight and you have a Lark's Head knot. Now you can actually create a Lark's Head knot in 2 different ways. You can also do the reverse, where you'll actually take the loop behind the dowel rod or the pole that you're trying to attach it to, toss it over to the front side, and then feed the rope through the loop that you created the opposite way. Both of these ways work. There's no right or wrong way. It's really just a matter of preference. So again, we will take the rope, throw the loop over the top, and feed the loose ends through the other side. And there you have it, that's the Lark's Head knot. Okay, so the next knot that we're going to learn is the square knot. You use this knot to add texture or variety into your piece or to create patterns with it. So for the square knot, you're going to need 4 working cords to start. We are going to be doing all the work with the outer 2 cords here, and we're going to basically leave the inner 2 cords alone. So really just focus on what the outer 2 cords are doing, and it'll make things much easier. So to start, we're going to take the left hand side and we're going to create a 4 shape with it. So see that angle that we're creating? It looks like a 4, and it's going to go over, over, and then under the last string. So once you have this step completed, you're going to take this right hand side string, you're going to feed it behind the other strings and loop it back to the front through the 4 shape that we just created. You can kind of pull these outer strings to tighten it up. And this is 1/2 of the square knot that we have completed. So now we're going to complete the square knot by doing the same thing but in reverse. So we're going to take the right hand string this time, create a backwards 4, and again it will go over, over, and then under the last string. You'll take this last string on the left, feed it behind and through the backwards 4, and then go ahead and pull those cords tight. Once you have it nice and tight, you have a completed square knot, and that's it. Okay, so for our 3rd knot, we are going to learn the clove hitch knot, otherwise known as the double half hitch knot. So this knot is used to create a raised line, which can be used to create patterns or designs in your work. You can use this to create diagonal, vertical, or horizontal lines. Basically, you can make the line go any direction that you'd please. So for this, we are going to start with 1 rope that we will designate the lead rope. So this rope on the left-hand side here, I'm choosing this as my lead rope, which means that this rope is not going to be doing any of the actual work. This is just going to be fed through the other ropes, and we're going to knot around this one. So for this one, I want to make a diagonal half hitch knot or diagonal clove hitch knot. So what I'm going to do is take this lead rope and cross it over the other strings in a diagonal direction. Now this string will just stay put the whole time. Make sure that you're not actually doing any of the knotting with this one. But then you'll take your first cord and you're going to loop it around and then feed the end of the cord through the top of the loop. Then you'll go ahead and tighten it as much as you can. So this is one half hitch that we just did. But remember, this knot is called the double half hitch. So we're gonna do that same thing twice. So you're going to again loop it around and then feed it through the top of the loop that you just created. Now you're gonna pull as tight as you can to just make sure it's really hugging that lead cord. And that is your first clove hitch knot. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat that with the next two cords so that you can kind of see the pattern coming through. So again, we're just going to create a loop and then feed the end of the rope through. And then repeat that again. And we'll repeat that one more time with this last string here. Okay, and now you can kind of get an idea of the line that we're forming. It's a little bit easier to see when you're using a thinner rope, but I figured using a nice chunky rope would make it a little easier to understand what I'm doing here. So there you have it, there's the clove hitch knot. Okay, so the final knot that we are going to learn today is called the gathering knot. And the gathering knot does just what the name implies. It secures a bundle of cords together. This is often used for plant hangers or tassels, but it can be used in some other instances as well. So for this, we are going to consider these the bundle of cords. So these aren't going to be actually doing anything. They're just going to sit tight and we're going to knot around them. So you're going to take a string and pull the end into a small loop. So you're going to gently place this loop on top of the bundle and make sure that you're holding it tight. So here we are, we have the loose loop just sitting nicely on top. Now you're going to take the longer end where you have most of the rope and just start wrapping it around the entire bundle. But you want to make sure to leave a little bit loose at the top here. This is going to be very important at the end, so leave a little bit of your cord loose on top there. And we'll just keep wrapping it around. There's not a certain amount of times you have to wrap this. You can just keep going until you get the look that you are going for. Okay, so I'm happy with how this looks. So what I'm going to do now is take this end and feed it through this loop on the bottom from the top down. So I'm going to feed it from the top down, pull that through. So now we have this loose loop at the bottom here. And we're going to take this little bit of cord at the top. We're going to pull that up, and as you can see, that is tightening the little loop at the bottom. So just keep pulling until it becomes hidden at the bottom. Now you have a nice clean gathering knot, and what you can do is just clip the ends here super tight to the knot, and this will be the back of your gathering knot. So there you are, that's how you'll secure the end of a plant hanger, and those are all the knots that I have for you today. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did and you'd like to see more, then go ahead and hit subscribe, and I will see you next week. Thanks for joining.